Okay, everybody, here's a 1962 Cadillac that we took the intake manifold off, and we had a little surprise. Tell us about the surprise. What did you find when you took that intake manifold off this 390 62 Cadillac?
Yes, we took the intake manifold off for a cleaning, and we discovered one of the heater hoses had a hole burned in it.
Now, this is a heater hose that's routed underneath the intake manifold, and this particular part got burnt by the
Exhaust crossover.
Aha, I see. Now, this is an original Delco hose?
This is an original Delco hose that's ribbed.
Right. And the other hose is another, this is the return for the heater?
Yeah.
Right.
Ribbed hoses.
Now, why do you think they put the, yeah, I see, General Motors, very good. The number is 1473466. Now, listen.
Go find one new old stock quickly.
All right, yeah. Now, listen. You think they routed them underneath there to give the carburetor some heat maybe in the winter, or why would they do that?
The reason why they routed them underneath there is convenient. If you look at the layout of the engine, the water pump bolts to each cylinder head. There's a port on each side that the heater hoses exit from, so it's just convenient to route them underneath and then around the back.
Right, okay.
So there were supposed to be clips there originally, and the clips have been missing. The clips are supposed to keep the hoses away from the exhaust crossover.
Oh, do you think they were replaced at one time, or the clips fell off or from the original?
I don't even know what the clips look like. I don't know. Maybe the intake was pulled once before, and maybe somebody lost them.
Now let me ask you something about these clips. They're underneath, and how would you get them on if the intake manifold is on?
Then I guess you couldn't. You would have to pull the intake manifold, probably.
So to do it right,
you'd have to pull the intake.
You took the intake manifold just to a heater hose.
Yeah, and if the clips aren't present, you could just feed new hoses through or break the old clips. Or I really don't know how it even supposed to look originally. So
okay, right.
It's a mystery to me. But we took on this project to clean up everything. The valley pan gasket was leaking. The distributor O-ring might have been leaking. The hose is probably leaking antifreeze, and it was just a big mess underneath. So.
Right, now, listen, this is a California car, and being a California car in 1962 would not have a
road draft tube.
Road draft, downspout, whatever you want to call it, blow by, whatever you want to say.
It has a PCV
tube. PCV tube, right? And that is right in here now. That is right there.
Yes.
Oh, I'm a little shaky here. And then the hose goes to the carburetor, right?
Hose goes in the carburetor. It has a special proprietary spacer for California cars, which Cadillac continued to use through to 1967 with the newer engine. And it has a port sticking out of it with the PCV valve mounted right to it.
Now wait a minute now. That is the PCV valve right there.
There it is right there.
Now is that the original PCV valve the way it looked in 1962?
That's the exact same style PCV valve.
All right, okay.
So I believe though the original one you could disassemble. But
you could take it apart and clean it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, it's the same design.
All right.
So this fiberglass spacer here, you put that underneath, and they continue to use that with the new 390 and new 429.
All right, now show us the metal that's in there that they use so things don't dry up too much.
There's an arrangement of gasket, spacer, gasket, shim, gasket, and the shim is to block the exhaust heat, which comes through here to hit the carburetor. You want it to heat the manifold up but not boil the fuel over in the carburetor. So
right, okay.
So if you forget the shim, the car won't run very well.
I see.
Shim is very important. You notice here's the data plate. The number 04A in the top left corner means it's made in the 4th week of April 1962. And you can see accessories. It's E, K, and Y. I believe E is soft-ray glass, K is air conditioner, and Y is a 6-way power seat.
Now point that out. I see the EKY at the end there, and the ACC?
Yeah, that means accessory.
So the ACC is the EKY.
Right.
And what's the E again?
E is soft-ray glass, K is air conditioner, and Y is 6-way power seat.
All right. Because they did have the 2-way power seat in some of the
two-way power seat
and stuff.
Standard.
Okay. Paint is 22?
22.
Trim is 50?
50, yes.
Okay, very good. Body by Fisher.
That's right.
All right, thank you much. Okay, and there's the carburetor.
There's the carburetor. It's a Carter AFB. You had the option of a Carter AFB or a Rochester 4GC.
You had the option?
Well, actually, you
You
had
mean
the
at the
option.
dealership? The guy
No,
said,
no.
I want the...
It was Cadillac put whatever carburetor they felt like putting in the car.
All right.
There's no
Whatever
rhyme
came
or
down the
reason.
line. Okay.
If you had air conditioning or not, it could still didn't matter which carburetor you got.
Right, okay.
So luckily we had the Carter, which is you can get parts for much more easily and is easier to work on than the Rochester.
Right. Okay. Now this particular model does have air conditioning, and
does.
what about 50% of all the '62 Cadillacs had air conditioning.
Yeah, about 54% of all 62 Cadillacs have air conditioning installed in them. For some reason, though, when you look at cars for sale nowadays, you'll notice that more of them available do not have air conditioning.
Now this compressor is a new compressor from '61 that they kept all the way up to what, '64?
It's the 62 is the first year for the A6 compressor, which is the GM standard compressor that they used in every car until like 1978. And then they used it in a Cadillac through '79, and then Jaguars and Rolls Royces up until like the early '90s used this compressor.
So if you're in the junkyard and you happen to see, you know, a Jag or something stupid in the junkyard,
and you wonder,
you can get the compressor,
yeah,
because they kept the compressor long after General Motors went to the other type, the little stubby one.
Even Ford used it in the early '70s in place of
that's
the
right,
work
in big
compressor.
Lincolns and stuff. Oh yeah,
You'll see the A6 in there.
Yeah,
arguably one of the best air conditioning compressors ever made due to its quiet operation and how many pounds per hour of refrigerant it could pump through.
Okay.
So it's the first year for that. Also the first year for cornering lights and the first year for a dual master cylinder.
All right, but basically the reason why we're making this video is to alert 62 and 61 Cadillac owners of this potential problem that might be lurking underneath their exhaust or intake manifold.
Actually, even 60 and 59 owners would have the similar setup.
Oh, okay.
Same engine for those 4 years.
Same engine. There you go. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.